continuing for what we stopped at, I just have to mention a number of things that we did. One is a very extensive and very successful operation of bringing the topic of energy and nuclear role in it to the schools. And that means to high schools especially, but also to the early years of college people, college students, and the result was successful. At that time, they really caused a problem to the official anti-nuclear organization, including the government's own nuclear energy items. And so for various reasons, we formed a working group on the energy problems, which sort of included the best people one could find in that area. Some of them I already have mentioned, which were Adair for Yale, Cohen from Pittsburgh, another Cohen, the one from California, Seitz, Hayakawa from California, Dixie Lee from state of Washington, John McCarthy, University of California. Did I mention Seitz? Yeah. And Teller, of course, also, and Miro also, as well as a number of others, which at this point at my age, I don't really remember that well. I would have to have big look up. Now, some of the people who collaborated in this item were people from energy itself, like Glickerson from Philadelphia Power from the Pennsylvania Power Company, who was strongly in favor. Now, this brings me to another point. Early in the operations of SE2, we got quite a bit of support from companies, electrical power companies, multiple energy companies, which sent some checks because we needed funds. And the checks were generally, they weren't that terribly big, but in total they helped. However, by the late 80s, most of the companies that had at one point supported us collapsed under the pressure by the public and the government. And well, it didn't do them any good, but at least they thought it did them any good by not being supportive of SE2. On the other hand, when they were in trouble because of their own nuclear stations, or not even nuclear stations, they came to SE2 to help in the courts. And part of our time was spent on writing, what do you call it, these samples, helping the court decide cases. Some of them were, like you can see here, this was a big business, and they were carefully assembled, and they cost some money too, because we had to take the law firms to write these items, and all I can say is the companies whom we helped, and often helped so that they won their case, did not show much gratitude in helping SE2, supporting SE2. It's a very unfortunate situation, and that even includes companies like that Pennsylvania one that I mentioned, Penn Power or Philadelphia Power, and a number of others, great number of others. One thing that I stick in my mind is Miro and I went to Philadelphia to meet the power company there. Forgot the one that is, well, I think it deserves what they got, because in spite of wasting the time and not doing us any good, they may have paid the trip to Philadelphia, but that was it. And there we sat and spent 2 days telling them about the importance of their work with nuclear, and that they should expand it, and all that, to which they all nodded and said, yes, we know. And so, yeah, they were. Anyway, that particular company then became a source, energy, scientific source for Japanese power. What the heck was the name of, anyway, whatever it is, the point is it collapsed recently, and now the Japan... Which?
Westinghouse?
Westinghouse, yeah, Westinghouse, yeah. Maybe because they were in Western Pennsylvania, I don't know what that name was. Westinghouse, that I feel some kind of, what do you call it, Schadenfreude, that happened to them because they weren't going to support SE2. In fact, they made quite a bit of effort that nobody should link them with this terrible anti-nuke organization, even though that was actually a major part of their business. And then on the event, they didn't do too well anymore, and then they sold it to the Japanese, and now everybody suffers, both them and the Japanese, because of that stupid Westinghouse outfit. Well, what can I say? I forgot. I have here a list of things which do. Of course, you know, if I look at all these papers, of the vast number of things I should mention, publications in general, efforts in general, endless discussions, debates, public debates with the opponents, and publications like newsletters. There's one here, maybe which were locally put out, like this was an SE2 report. That's relatively easy to turn that one in Washington, but similar for other places, and for colleges, of course. But at this point, a number of things. SE2 basically collapsed. Did not collapse, it just what did that great general say? All soldiers just fade away. Yeah. What happened with SE2? Great scientists faded away, and a lot of them died. If I look at it from today, where the energy situation is absolutely horrendous, and where new forms of opposition developed, such
anti-fossil fuels. It's anti-fossil fuels, basically.
What?
It's anti-fossil.
Yeah,
fossil fuels.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, the whole extraordinary effort to stop fracking, which we're looking for underground, deep underground methods of extracting gas and oil from underground, not just from underground. Oil fields with like the sand oils of northern Alberta, are all major sources of attacks, even though they are extraordinary sources of health, wealth, and economic advance. And so they concentrate their efforts against that, and they organize their efforts, of course, continued on a lower level, but starting out time and time again, coming up on the disposal of nuclear waste, which had been at one point had been solved or considered solved. Grounds.
Yeah, are you sure it's in Utah, not in...
I just forgot. It was a major achievement to identify that particular location under a big mountain, but very deep, in which nuclear waste, even though still radioactive, could be kept for 1,000 years or more. At which point, of course, other applications of nuclear would also presumably would show up. And this was waste. So these things do come up again and again, waste especially. And then, of course, there are developments of nuclear science or semi-nuclear science, like the medical, what do you call it, the PET scan, even though it is, but that, this is how, certain benefits, which I think if SE2 was really active today, we could really help push those. And in my case, it would have been even particularly interesting because the whole area of this was developed by a former professor at City College, where I taught. And I said City College, that I have to put that in quotes because it has no connection. It's not a survivor of the old college, but it was Isaac Rabbi, a very powerful physicist, Nobel Prize winner, and also a very good, very appealing to me, a very good Jew. So so these areas would have helped. And of course, I met Isaac Rabbi long after he had retired from City College at the home of Sam Devons, a physicist who was indirectly through his marriage affair a relative of Rael's family, and who had the invitation for these, every once in a while for these people. What can I say? But that's it. There is not much anymore. As I say, it's done. And we don't have I don't certainly have the age, I don't have the energy. And I am now, I suppose I was one of the youngest members of the FSE2's leadership. There were some others which I could mention from faraway places like Minnesota, for example. I forgot his name, but we have, they are all available in my files. So they are dead. The real leaders are dead. I don't know if somebody survives, but if he does, he probably doesn't have any more energy than I have, and of course I have lost contact with these people. So, well, this is a very brief story to the extent that's easily available to me on the introduction to